and everyone I meet I stay a stranger. Yet every choice I take is another day I'll make. Odds are I'll still be here tomorrow. I'm a fantasy man, I'm a fantasy man. I'm doing everything except put it in a can. Good afternoon, everybody. My name's Randy. I'm just some guy. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I thought I'd just come out and chat. Yesterday, I did upload my first video onto YouTube, and I used a Filmora application, and it was supposedly free and blah blah blah, yada yada yada. But you know, it's only free to download. It's not actually free to use it, because on my first video they put a strip right across everything, so that kind of defeated the purpose of the video. So we're going to try a new platform today. I don't know which one yet. I've got a couple editing videos, equipment that I'm going to try and see which one works best for me. I'm not looking to put a lot of time into this, people. I'm just throwing out some stuff in between when I'm taking a break or a rainy day or something, and it's just a chat forum, basically. That's all I want. I'm not looking to get rich. I'm not trying to be an influencer. I'm not trying to promote anything. I'm just throwing out ideas, and I'm hopefully going to get some back. If you notice in the back here, I've been cutting trees. This whole section all the way down through here, about a quarter of a mile, all coming out on this side. We have a creek right over here, and it's been filled in with all the runoff from over here. Let's see if I can't circle around so you guys get an idea. It all comes off that hill, fills these creeks, and then our drainages and everything are just a complete mess. It's just full of silt, dirt, rock, just stuff. So we're gonna fix it. It's been 20 years since it's been done, so it's due. And as you can see, we got the excavator over here. I got my tractor out. We're gonna drag some wood and stuff. And this is one of the favorite tractors I like to use that the boss owns. He has 3 of them. There's one that's larger than this one. He's got this one, and then the smaller one we use for feeding. And this one here is just more comfortable. As you can see, I've been whacking trees, and what I'll do is I'll cut all the leaves off and throw them over the fence, and the deer, they just eat it right up. In fact, I did some 2 days ago, and we're gonna walk right over here, look inside the fence here. I don't know if you can see this, but that's all the brush. They ate all the leaves, and I've got it going all the way down this fence line. I dragged a bunch of them in there. Then eventually what I'll end up doing is I'll come in with this claw system over here, and I'll just pick it all up, and we'll put it all right up here on this pile, brush pile. The deer use it when they have fawns. They'll stick their fawns in there just to keep them safe. Usually the first 3 to 5 days, and then after that the fawns usually start following the herd. But for the first couple days they always hide them. I got a couple whitetail here, baby fawns, that were just here this morning. They've been showing up the last couple days just by themselves. They're only a few months old, not very old, and starting to come up and chat with us. But I get a lot of the wildlife, say the whitetail, because we raise the red deer, and of course, you know, they see deer, they smell deer, so they kind of hang around the farm. Come hunting season, it's usually a pretty good spot. I don't have to go far. But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna cut all this, and then this is all gonna be firewood for next year. Got quite a bit of it. We're gonna have quite a load. You'll see that the area where we stack all our wood, our logs, get ready for splitting and cutting and stuff, is pretty good size. I go through about 3 to 4 cord a year during the winter months. It gets mighty extreme here in southern Maine, and it gets downright cold. But So that's my plan for today. I'm just puttering along. I'm not trying to hurt myself. The heat index is really high today. The humidity is extremely high. I mean, my shirt looks dry, but that's only because it's all wet. That's just living in that realm. But, I had a thought, and I thought I'd throw this out there. Commercials on pharmaceuticals. Now, a lot of people don't realize that pharmaceutical companies are only advertised in 2 countries. U.S. being one of them. I think the other one is Britain or Great Britain. I'm not sure, but for the most part, no other countries will advertise pharmaceutical companies. Now, a pharmaceutical company is the only company that has gotten messages from Congress, bills passed through Senate and everything else, stating they can't be held liable for anything that you take that they prescribe to you. And it's living in the world of, you can't sue your doctors, you can't sue your lawyers, you can't sue your government, you can't sue anybody. You can't hold anybody responsible for anything anymore unless it's you. Now, you're responsible for everything. Jaywalk, you're responsible. You hit somebody with your car, you're responsible. You say something and you hurt somebody's feelings, you're responsible. And it's getting to the point where, let's just say, people aren't happy. And this isn't just the U.S. This is worldwide, and it's not going to stop. We look at Sri Lanka, look at UK, you look at all these places, and then, of course, we got our own little groups running around burning things down because they're mad because they don't own anything, nor do they want to work. So, it's United States has become the very privileged, and I think within the next year, a lot of them are going to realize how much privilege they really had and how much privilege they're about to lose. But anyways, back to the pharmaceutical companies. As a child growing up, I'm 58 years old. Let's just walk around a little bit here. At 58 years old, I remember growing up, and commercials. I didn't watch my first TV show until I was 4 years old, and it was the moon landing, the very first claimed moon landing with Aldridge and all them. And of course, they came out with Tang. I don't know if anybody remembers that orange special drink, but it was just a bowl of sugar, really. It wasn't anything special to it. But he advertised it, and everybody, they're actors, TV stars, celebrities, basketball, football, whatever it was, they would advertise products as a person. I'm having this issue. I'm 45 years old, and got a little bit of a heart issue, so I've been using Lupron or this and that, blah, blah, blah. And it works for me, So you kind of got sold by these people who had their faces out there on a regular basis. And then I think the 70s, the 80s came along. I'm going to say the 80s. Around the 80s, we started dealing with cartoons. Cartoons was selling you medication, and people were running right out to buy it. And they found out that worked out so well. So they started selling you car insurance. There's nobody actually promoting it except the Geico and some large bird that runs around with some guy who wears the same suit every day. I just don't understand the concept of thinking when people are running out to buy things because a cartoon told them to. It just eludes me. So anyways, as I was saying, pharmaceutical companies, now they're selling their drugs and stuff through cartoons. And it really gets to me because, it's going to help so-and-so, and this is so good for you, and blah, blah, blah. And then at the very end, it may cause a heart attack, kidney failure, Lyme disease, blah, 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 blah. And the list is like 40 other things that are going to kill you from taking the pill, other than worrying about the one item that may not kill you. It's just, it lives in that realm. So I just wondering how people feel about, you know, pharmaceutical companies not being liable for things that they produce and put out, and how people feel about Congress allowing them to do this, although we all know they're all getting kickbacks. Everybody, there isn't anybody out here that has no clue that the government, Senate, Congress, all your politicians, they're all getting kickbacks. Now, I'm not a big guy on Trump or Biden or this or that, but the one thing I did like when Trump got into office, he stopped all the lobbying. And that's where all the lawsuits came from and his impeachments. And, he cut into people's pockets is what it was. And they weren't happy about it. And now, of course, they're all back to lobbying. If you look at them, they're lobbying everything from, oil from overseas to shipping all our food out, but we're not getting anything back. A lot of countries won't even buy our canned goods. There's so much crap in them. I mean, the United States has got some of the most obese people in the world. Look around. I mean, it's not that hard. You can look at it. All the other countries, there ain't fat anywheres around. There's some old 1950s photos that I came across. And on the photos, showed people on the beach. That old 50s swimwear type deal. And there must have been a couple hundred people on this beach. There wasn't one obese, overweight, and out-of-shape person on that beach. Not one. Now we have to justify that, fat shaming is a bad thing. Nobody's fat shaming anybody as far as I'm concerned. A lot of times when people are saying things to you, it's to help improve your health or to give you the understanding that you need to have better health. Take care of your body. Don't sit there with a bowl of sugar and just go num, 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 num. This is good. We eat more sugar in this country than all the world's put together. It's ridiculous. Between our candies, our cereals, our canned goods, the corn syrups, it's just bad all the way across. But yeah, I just kind of ranted off onto a different subject here. But I do that a lot. One thing leads to another thing, and another thing leads to another thing. Everything is connected in one form or another. Now, if we weren't allowing the pharmaceutical companies to do what they do, a lot of people probably wouldn't be as obese. If we didn't allow the FDA to just pass all these chemicals into our food, we wouldn't have all these obese. It lives in that realm. 40 years ago, 40 years ago, high school, most girls were flat-chested until they hit 17, 18 years old. Now they eat at McDonald's, and everything that they eat, McDonald's, Burger King, Hardee's, all that stuff, anything processed at the stores, what happens is now we're using, because we're feeding more people, we're injecting our animals with all kinds of steroids. We want them bigger, we want them fatter, we want them buffer. I'll give you a perfect example. Chickens. You go to the store, man, you got that 8, 10, 12-pound chicken there. He's just bold and looking good, and I mean, he's just all kinds of fat and juicy. But you raise 30 chickens, throw them $30 worth of grain a week, and there ain't nothing on them. It just is what it is. I mean, I only keep layers now. I keep a couple roosters. The roosters usually get a little bit bigger than the hens, but the hens have absolutely nothing on them. They're just they're good enough to clean up and throw in, make some chicken broth and can it, whatever. But as far as meat, now there are different types of breeds of birds. If they're layers, obviously they're going to be a smaller bird. They do have a meat bird. Had a neighbor up the road bought, I don't know, 15, 20 of them meat birds. And they were all getting pretty good and getting pretty fat. And then he came out one morning, they were all laying on the ground, blue, dead. They all keeled over from a heart attack because that was, you got to harvest them before a certain time. or they just die, So, I mean, that's what I'm saying. We've genetically altered so many things in our world that nothing is safe. Nothing. So, anyways, give me your thoughts on that. I'm just throwing things out there. I'm just catching a breeze, taking a break. We've been doing a little digging out here and cutting trees, and it's gotten hot, and I just felt like tossing something out there. What are your thoughts on pharmaceutical companies and doctors and lawyers that can't be held responsible, but by law they can sue you because you didn't pay them for malpractice or doing a bad job? That's a whole nother story I can get into about Connecticut, but we're not gonna go there today. But yeah, just throw your thoughts out there. Let's have a conversation. Let's see what everybody thinks. I know what a majority of people think in my area, but I'd like to hear from others. Sometimes you have to jump out of the box to get a different sound. So let's go there. Let's see what happens. Thanks for coming by. I'm just some guy, and I got nothing special. Have a good day, and may everybody be blessed and be safe.